Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Critscast. We're going to be kicking it off to the second week of ETF12 Season 17 Premiership Highlander. Tonight we're going to be checking out teams one of them you're pretty familiar with, the second one maybe not so much. So we're going to be seeing Geotech, otherwise known as Phaler Esports, up against a new team, Torpedo, and we're going to be checking out Koth Product first, followed by Koth Warmtic. A lot of King of the Hill action today. My name is Chando. We've got Weirdhoofd behind the scenes on productions, and I'm joined today by Buck. Buck, how you doing? You excited for this match?
Yeah, definitely. Hello, everyone. More Phaler action, I guess. Seen a lot of them recently. Going to be going up against this sort of new together team formed by Aleski and Newbie, as far as I'm aware. Sort of playing off a few Div 1 and Prem player experiences. So I recognise probably some of the names, and as will the viewers, most likely. Maybe one or two newer ones, and then one or two older ones as well. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how they can kind of come up against the very long-standing experience of Phaler here on especially Koth, because I know Joe, of all people, will probably frag his heart out on Koth.
Absolutely. If there's anything to go by what we saw last night, if anyone's checking that out, which is Omni 5 versus Kitty. Omni 5, very similar roster to that of Phaler, or Geotech, I suppose they're called now. And they had a very successful game against Kitty on Coal Plant. So, yeah, we could be seeing some of that DM action coming in here today. But we've got a few notable mercs as well that I want to point out. Xenos and Wild Piggy, they're going to be merking for Torpedo. Xenos on Demo, Wild Piggy on Scout. And a couple of interesting players to point out. I think one being Ollie, making his debut season in Prem. He's going to be playing Sniper for Torpedo, so watch out for him. We'll quickly go down the rosters though. Let's start off with Geotech. I guess it's going to be Rayon playing Scout, included middle playing Soldier, V-Clocks playing Pyro, Joan playing Demoman, Poker playing Heavy, Lilypad, who not too sure who that is. I think it might be. Oh, I'll get back to you on that one. I'm not too sure that is.
Like it's Spamfest as well.
Oh, Spamfest, yeah, that was right. Playing Engineer, Layla on Medic, Porky on Sniper, and Mezzo playing Spy. So yeah, very similar to last night's game with Omni 5. They were very successful in winning the RGL Proland U tournament. And Buck, you're on us down the opposing team.
Yes, we'll do. So, as you mentioned before, Wild Piggy will be playing Scout, and we're working for them right now. We've got Newbie, previously on the likes of Open Squad and Wheelchair, going to be playing Soldier for them. We've got T. Borden on Scout, who on Pyro, sorry. I've seen him play a few times, so looking forward to see what we can bring here today. We're going to have Xenos, as you said, merking on Demo. Aleski on Heavy, I think he's kind of leading the team along with Newbie. Rambo on NG, previously playing with Lacrosse. Going to have on Sniper will be Ollie. Ahmed will be Seb. And Ajay will be playing Spy.
Yeah, it really doesn't sound like such a bad roster as well. I mean, it's a bit of a project team from LSK, but a lot of notable players there. Adji, who I think came second last season with Phaler, he's not going to be playing against them, so going to see what he can pull out of the hat. Rambasaur as well, very, very strong NG, very strong man in real life as well with those steps. If anyone's seen him, I think he won the Copenhagen Games arm wrestling competition, so he is a man to be reckoned with both in-game and out, so watch out for him. Yeah, I mean, there's some really good players here, and I think they could be giving Geotech a run for their money here, but Buck, you maybe want to give us a few of your predictions.
Yeah, I mean, on this map, like, kind of looking for Ollie to do pretty well here. Like, I know I've played with Ollie previously in my own teams, and like also in like loads of pugs, so I know he can go off on maps like Product and on Warmtic. Ajay, as you mentioned previously, really good Spy, but I mean, he will be going up against the likes of Mezzo, who was actually player and Spy of the season last season, so yeah, going to be some tough competition.
Absolutely, and now we have gone live now, so this is going to be week 2 of Geotech versus Torpedo, and we're onto the rollout. Xenos getting very, very fast. Speedy Gonzalez there, getting some damage out, and the Scout Crayon going with the Bonk Atomic Punch, getting behind enemy lines there. Navi's going to be the first one to go down. Mezzo getting picked off by Wild Piggy. Loads of frags actually going in favour of Torpedo at the moment. Seems like they might be winning. This first fight, they get Crayon in middle too, but V-Clocks did find Seb, the Torpedo medic there. So while they did manage to secure the points, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to this.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get the point there. Unfortunately, with Seb going down, sort of near towards the end of that fight. Layla surviving that entire time will be on 100%, so going to be ready to push back in here with Uber. Looking for him to drop down from Cliff right now as Rambo's got an aggressive mini sentry on the point. Joe tries to bomb in, immediately denied by T-Borden though with a nice air blast. So not much aggression coming forwards that quickly from Failer as the returning frags come in. Forward down right now on the side of Failer is looking very grim.
Yeah, Xenos popped there actually, getting a couple of nice frags in there. Very good Merc choice so far. He does go down to Joan. Joan getting picked off by Agi in return there, but they haven't been able. They weren't able to secure the point, but now they're backing up a little bit. This is trying to giving Torpedo a bit of room here to recapture. They just lost a few players. Those players are going to be respawning though pretty quickly, and yeah, now Seb is going to have a small advantage to work with. He's definitely going to at least have a neutral Uber situation here. Ollie gets that frag onto Poker as well, so that's going to make it hard to sort of tank a push in for Jayatech, and they're going to try their best anyway. They're starting to take a bit more space now. Middle finding that all-important dispenser pick as well, but yeah, pretty stale at the moment as they finally Jayatech getting a bit of space in here. They lose their engineer Lilypad, and those Ubers are both popped off. Torpedo backing up a little bit now, pushing back in with their scouts, and Molpig just runs straight into Joan. Brilliant frag there. In fact, Drabasor finds Mezzo as well. Still such a messy fight at the moment. Nice high bomb in the middle, but alas, gets taken down by Lesky.
They're like doing a good job of keeping Seb alive here actually, so managed to live through that. They managed to get the point as well. Good aggression coming up from Failer, but I mean it was smart of Torpedo not to over-aggress with that returning Uber. Like they managed to pick off V-Clocks in the back because V-Clocks has some very annoying air blasts to try and deny them a lot of the time. But yeah, Xenos needs to be careful catching a lot of the spam coming in from Joe as he returns a lot of the spam onto them, getting almost a wipe right now as Mezzo the only one left alive. So a massive push in right there from Torpedo.
Yeah, that was a brilliant push actually. Xeno was really leading the charge there. I think he picked off Layla, and the rest of the team just able to follow up on his damage, and no heals for Jayatech. It was a pretty decisive fight there. And they've got this nice passive style here, which I quite like to see. It's pretty safe. They find Mezzo as well. They just kind of focus on keeping Seb alive. He's playing way back on that cliff at the moment. Now gets his Uber. And at the same time, you know, Jayatech just kind of taking the time, methodically trying to cap the point. V-Clocks just kind of walking across it, getting a bit of time on there. Porky's going to find that fragment to Xenos. It's going to open up a lot of possibilities actually for Jayatech to start just making their way across the point. Again, that damage out on their right-hand side. Now that Uber's going to come out from Seb. Layla, who hasn't actually got yet, is going to have to make a run for it. They lose V-Clocks, they lose Lilypad as well. Layla probably going to get out with her life, but they're going to send so many players into it. It's actually Navi that just kind of runs in along with the scouts, doesn't manage to find the medic. Now Layla's going to be about 90% or so. Start walking across here. They sacked a lot of players for Layla and were unsuccessful. Now tables have turned. Jayatech just going to walk across that point. They don't even have to use, and they've got a decent Uber advantage as well to work with.
Yeah, Mill going for his typical sort of around the cliff bomb as Aliska not picking that up, but I mean doing some good spam onto the point to try and deny them any further space. 100% on the side of Layla right now though, so you need to be careful they don't get caught out here. I mean Joe and Crayon will be trying to look forward to go across the point here, but a massive bomb onto Layla from Newbie with his typical soldier bombs. He is one scary soldier to play against, and proving it here. But a lot of returning frags though. There's only 3 left alive, and Seb left running for his life right now. But he does have 76% in the bank.
Yeah, it's well played by Seb. He managed to survive that. I was not expecting him to get out alive, but now he's going to have a big Uber to work with. Almost coming into 100% now, and as his team respawns, probably going to be pretty quick to just start pushing in here. They've only got 11 seconds left on that point. They're going to be pretty keen to get hold of it once again. They find Bezo as well, thanks to T-Borden, and they're just going to start making their way across the point now. Uber gets popped off. It's good damage going into Layla as they find V-Clocks. And now they've just got to start capping that point. ×3. Playing it very well here. Again, the picks, because Agi actually finds Layla, finds Poker as well. That's a brilliant couple of frags for them. And almost might cement first round. Last ditch effort as Middle comes in and finds Layla, but doesn't find the point. And thus, first round going to go to Torpedo. Maybe wasn't expecting that. I'm not too sure where Joyatech's going wrong. They have such a good track record when it comes to DM kind of based maps. But it's still plenty of time to change the scores here. Only 1 point so far as we go in now to the second round.
Yeah, I think the strength really lies in trying to sack for Layla because Newbie has such amazing bombs and he's so consistent with his bombs that it's going to be a massive threat for them. But I mean, on this mid-fight right now, early pick onto Ollie coming out from Corky, so no sniper right now for them to try and defend against their push coming in. Poker trying to take a bit of the heals here as he tries to walk across the point, getting focused down though, maybe a bit overzealous as V-Clocks trying to return the favour with some damage onto the mini-sentry and onto Xenos, but kind of back and forth right now. Benil going for a bit of a bomb. Nice reflect by T-Ball. No, really on point with his air blast right now. Joe coming in behind, trying to get Seb, but not really finding it.
No, as Jane actually goes down to Wild Piggy there, but they might be able to get this point. I'm not too sure for how long, as Navi does one of those bombs once again, this time getting completely shut down. Crits popped off now. Oh no. Could have been so good if they weren't running crits there. They might be able to hold on to this, but they do lose Layla to T-Burden. And now Torpedo's just going to kind of rush in there. That crits play, no, that seemed a little bit gimmicky, and I'm not too sure what their thought process was behind that. As Torpedo managed to capture this point now, have to back up a little bit. They did lose a few players. They got LS Key coming back in now on the respawn, and the whole of the Joyatech team up. They're going to try and get some space on this now as Xenos is down. For Torpedo, they can start walking across the point here, led by Joan, using some good damage down. He finds the sentry. Middle gets backstabbed though, but Seb going down to that procky sniper along with the Ollie, the opposing sniper.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say Phelan needs to kind of respect the aggression coming out from, well, as I say that, actually, yeah, the bomb comes in straight away onto Layla, but yeah, they need to respect the aggression coming out from Torpedo because they will return the favour when it comes to being really aggressive and in their face. We've got Aleski trying to sit up on this cliff to try and buy some space here, but yeah, we'll play to try and get this point right now from Phelan, as Ollie gets to pick up to Porky, actually.
That's a pretty good pick to start in with. He finds Mezzo as well. Doesn't have to worry about that spy or sniper for now. Crits is going to get popped off there. They might have to worry about that. So far, not really too much going with it. Poker does find Xenos, in fact, and they are able to hold on to this point. He finds LS Key as well, so that was some good follow-up by Poker on that damage. But Joan going to get backstabbed by Agi. That might change things completely here. They need to start getting some time on point now. Torpedo kind of wasting an opportunity here a little bit. They don't have to worry about that demo, but they are now getting the picks back. As they find Rampus, they find Ollie as well. And so it's just back and forth. Carnage coming here. And yeah, really kind of not too sure what's going on now.
He's trying to come in middle with a big bomb though. Trying to do as much damage as he can onto this sort of ramp side area as the heavy 1v1 goes in the favour of Poker, left on 9 health, so barely winning that one as they manage to try and hold on to this point. I think they're starting to play on Porky a lot more now, but as I say that, Ajay comes in with a nice backstab to return the favour. Ollie going to be sitting on this rock spot that he loves so much, trying to get as much point damage as he possibly can as Joe returns onto Boredom with some spam. I think they probably will try and cap this out. Seb, very aggressive positioning though, will get punished by a massive bomb from middle and the spam coming in from Joe as well, so massive punishment coming in from Phelan.
Yeah, it's nice to see these aggressive plays from Phelan or Joyatech as we sort of saw last night. Aggression was working in their favour, and I'd say they've got some of the best aggressive DM in the season at the moment, so it's good that they're using that to their advantage. They're not always just sitting back for the aggression from Torpedo. Stab from Joan is brilliant, and another bomb from Nubi takes down Layla. Poker finding him, but the damage has been dealt as Poker also gets shut down along with V-Clocks. Aleski really popping off now. Now they're going to storm onto the point. They've got a long road ahead of them though. It's 2 minutes 30 to tick down before taking the second round. So 3 seconds left for Joyatech. So yeah, it's could be a tough one for them, but if they can hold on to this, to this Uber advantage here and just keep playing as well as they were in the first round, it's definitely doable.
I'm really looking for these mids to like walk away from this pocket spot when they have Uber and they're expecting a sat, because like Layla needs to be adapting, I think, because she just sits in the pocket spot so many times and like Newbie always gets the same like bomb in. And as I say that, Ajay with the backstab onto Layla was trying to run away, facing away from him. So gonna be trying to find a med there, and Seb left alive, slowly building up his ad once again, sort of comfortably holding on to this point.
Yeah, Aju really made that push happen. He got the nice stab onto Porky, got a brilliant headshot onto the scout, and then wow, and then shut down. Xenor's actually going down as well, so made some opening for Jayatech to push back in onto this. They get that frag onto Wild Piggy as well. They're just going to be slowly capping this. It's so nearly in their favour, and there's only a few seconds before they'll take this round here. But the frags are coming in favour of Torpedo now, as they lose LS Key in the process and T Borden, and with that they're going to lose control of that second round.
Yeah, Joe coming in with that confidence with the rest of his team, sort of just going to be sitting on the one side of the point, slowly capping it out as they spam them out. Xenor's getting a bit unfortunate there, kind of getting thrown up into the air and then getting headshot by Porky, so trying looking for Xenos to possibly stay alive a bit more. Joe is like topping the scoreboard right now, whereas Xenos is like sort of in between. Actually doing a lot of work there, so we need to be looking out for the spy on the side of Layla.
Absolutely. Now into this third round here. Xenos first one to go down. Nice body shot by Porky. Ollie finds Crayon as well. The sniper's really popping off so far. Rambasol getting fragged as well. No, nothing too important, but it is going to side in favour of Failer here. As Ollie, however, does find Porky, and Middle just kind of frags himself. Does frag Agi though. But regardless, Jayatech going to take this point now and get that stab onto Xenos once again, who does seem to be dying quite a lot here. I think maybe he needs to just rein it in a little bit. Crits is going to get popped off as well. First Stinky unsuccessful. In fact, the whole Crit's probably unsuccessful here. They don't find anything. In fact, they're losing players now as Lilypad and Crayon both get picked off. V-Clocks as well to the Pyro MGE. And yeah, now Seb's going to have a big Uber advantage, which instantly popped off, actually. Very early indeed, but Xenos going to surge forward, pays the price as he gets picked off by Poker. Mezzo gets that stab onto Ollie, and now they can probably hold on to this. Even if they lose the point, I can take this back in straight away if they've decided to. They weren't even able to cap the point, in fact.
Yeah, the crits pop was questionable, but I will shout out Joe for that massive 2 pipes onto Newbie to deny the bomb, because he just absolutely destroyed Newbie when he tried to come in. Layla on very, very, very low health as Newbie trying to chase that damage, but will kind of get denied for now. The point is still in favour of Torpedo though, so it's going to be interesting. Layla now sitting on 100% crit still, I think, so you'll be looking for Joe to come in with these crits into this sort of pocket area and try and regain control of this point.
Absolutely, it's a brilliant time to do it as Ollie gets found out and stabbed back into the respawn queue. Now that crits is straight out of there, but once again, I mean, actually they found Seb, I should say, and they got LS Key as well, so huge improvement from the last one as they start pushing on to the point. They lost V-Clocks and Middle in that exchange there. Joan taking a fat pipe down very weak. Layla though, once again getting absolutely annihilated by Nubby, and just a huge exchange of kills between both teams. It's probably going to keep this the point control in favour of Torpedo.
Yeah, I can't believe he stayed alive for that long there, as gets the med and then manages to pick off Porky as he goes through the teleporter, so we'll play by him there. Even Ubers right now, I think, is Layla still on crit? Yes, she is, okay. So they're going to be sticking with this crits tactic for now. Going to try and push this point though, try pushing in right now. Scout going to be on this sort of left side with Aleski and his demo following him right behind. Seb taking quite a bit of damage, but finding a few frags. Ollie does go down, so no sniper right now, as the point just needs some edge of cap, and they will finally cap it out. So kind of in favour for Torpedo right now.
Wow, look at Xenos there, just huge damage as he finds Layla, a couple of others as well, goes down in the end, but T-Bone with the reflect onto Middle, Joan getting picked off by Wild Piggy, and I think, yeah, they're going to be able to hold on to this. That was some really nice frags coming out there. They find Mezzo as well. They can start holding maybe a little more aggressively. Stop having to worry about what's on their back. In fact, maybe a little too aggressive as LS Key just keeps on hitting that W key and pays the price. That's going to be Rambasol that finds him. But still getting some good damage out there. Xenos, putting out some big damage, even if he is going down a lot. He's doing a lot of work in these situations. Really, it's becoming a real struggle actually for Jayatech to get any time in this round. They lose Crayon as well as Piggy just absolutely surges forward and doesn't get anything, but does push the entirety of the Jayatech combo way back, almost into spawn. It's really going to start killing some time for them, but they want to get back in now. I think they've got that crit, so I think they're ready to pop it off as well. Or maybe they can take this for free here, as Poker just walks onto the point, but he gets fragged by Ollie. Now that crit gets off, and they find LS Key there. But a huge one from Nubby once again, and Layla is down, Middle is down as well. Joan gets body shot, as does Lilypad, losing that MGE, and Torpedo surely be able to take this one.
Yeah, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play against the crits in Prem. You bomb in, and you are not afraid of it, because you let your heavy and your sentry tank it. Yeah, well played by Newbie there to get that massive bomb, because they're all against the wall, so easy damage for him right there. Seb going to be on a comfortable 90% as well. Still a lot of aggression coming out from both teams right now, but Jonas going to need some help trying to push this in. T-Borden as well, having some good reflex and denial of their space as well, and it's kind of coming together for Torpedo right now.
Absolutely, only 10 seconds left for them now. It's going to be the last-ditch effort for Jayatech to push this in, but they have to fight against a full Uber, and they're going to get absolutely minced here. Middle, very, very weak as he backs out, and a little bit of overtime, but no one really sees the opportunity. Middle's going to come back in, gets reflected big time by T-Borden, and with that, they're going to take this third round, making this 2-1. A very, very close game so far, but I am really shocked. Torpedo, actually, I wasn't expecting them to perform this well against Jayatech. Some really, I mean, they've got some big names, but I kind of feared that they would have sort of like a lack of synergy due to them maybe not playing together as much as a team like Jayatech, but they're really proving me wrong here. As Ollie just first frag onto Joan, and that can't be good for this next round.
Yeah, I know, and like I'm looking to see more picks coming out on the side, like the flank from Failer. Seb actually going really aggressive there, does actually get taken down, so no Mezzo on either side. Mezzo is going to get caught out by the Pyro and the Heavy here, so he'll be trying to hold on to this point, as Ajay's actually been doing quite a lot of work in the battle lines. I think he's kind of like the unsung hero right now for them, as he's been getting a lot of frags onto Joe, and because Joe is like often carrying their team sometimes as he's going forwards, taking all the heals, like with him down, like oftentimes I think they kind of lose track of where they're going.
Absolutely, I think Ollie's doing that, doing a really good job as well. He seems to get a lot of frags onto Joan, and with everyone focusing that the Demoman and also the main caller, it's going to be really hard for Jayatech to coordinate a push, as V-Clocks goes down to a nice sticky trap by Xenos, and they can probably keep this push going though. Ollie is going to go down as well, and they're just going to surge onto the point. Seb hasn't got that Uber yet, and it's going to be hard for them to actually counter the push of Jayatech. So they, well, as I say that, they're doing a tremendous job. They weren't able to cap the point yet. Crayon goes down to Wild Piggy on that 4K now, and it's a pretty slow push. It might just work out for them, but they've lost a lot of time in the process.
Yeah, gonna have a 100% on both sides, as Layla does actually use Uber this time rather than crits. Kind of a weird pop though. Layla possibly left out in position here in Ollie's sightline. Ollie gonna get the Pyro for that sightline. Middle going in for a big jump though, onto the cliff. I'm not even sure anyone even saw that. No one really reacted to him there, but they don't care because they're gonna Uber in across the point anyway. Layla managed to get out with her life, as Poker trying to clean up the people extending. Mezzo with a nice frag onto Ollie though, trying to return favour, as Layla has a very, very small ad, but they do manage to cut this out.
Yeah, it was quite nicely done. They've got a lot of time off the point as well now. Only 1 minute 40 left for Torpedo. They do lose Xenos and Angie though. No demo. It's going to be hard to counter this push, as yeah, they've basically just given it to them for free here. And in fact, Jayatech really taking the opportunity to get some aggression in, get some good damage. Porky finding T-Burden as well. That's a nice pick by him. And yeah, they're going to hold on to this with slightly more aggressive playstyle perhaps, although as I say that, they just sort of back up into their default position. Now, a little bit critical of this. I mean, it seems that Nubby is just predicting Layla's position every single time, and that's because she's just not really changing her position. She's always on this side of cliff, and even if it might be the default style, if that seems to be the problem that that Layla's facing, she might need to relocate. Now these Ubers are going to get popped off together as LSK goes down on the back lines. Mezzo getting a nice stab, however, onto, I think that was and they can hold on to this now as Xenos gets picked off by Vclox too. Now almost equalising the times here, only about 20-second difference. And yeah, I mean, Joyatech still got a good chance at reclaiming this map.
Yeah, Synergy was a bit off from Torpedo there. Uber was kind of just a bit mishandled. Mezzo going for a bit of a cheeky decloak on that kind of edge next to the fence, but not going to find anything there. Aleska getting sniped out. Newbie with a big bomb. Demo with a big bomb. Xenos coming in as well, but Newbie getting very focused right now as many of the team fear him. Like I could see Layla's positioning previously against him as he was looking for a bomb. So you know they're definitely expecting Newbie, and they know his bombs could be very deadly. So Layla going to be on 100% Uber right now, as Seb needs to kind of regroup with his team and they need to think about how they're going to try and approach this point now.
Yeah, I mean they're certainly running out of time though. They are slowly making their way back in now as Seb comes into full Uber. He's fighting a full Uber as well. Crayon wins that fight against Wally, and now these Ubers are going to get put off together. It seems that Joyatech are the ones who are backing up a little bit here. They do find Ollie though. They find LSK as well and Agi, so they can definitely hold on to this if they're persistent enough. It's very nicely done there. Very aggressive fire place from Vclox. Runs in and gets absolutely demolished by Xenos. Joan trying to follow up as well. Nice air shot and follow up by Poker as well. Taking Nubby and Wild Piggy too, and yeah, looking really good for Joyatech now as they go into the last 20 seconds of this round. They do lose Lilypad, however, and Joan and Poker, so this is the chance Torpedo needs to push forward, and they're really seizing the opportunity. Mezzo finds Ollie, Sebastian goes down to that body shot, Rambo as well. Brilliant plays by the classes, and Joyatech might just be able to walk back in and recapture the point.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing now, okay, and Layla just walks in and instantly dies Xenos, that's interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, one thing I'm noticing now is they're not really dealing with Mezzo and middle as well as they were before. T-Ball have been sort of out of position, like not with the combo as much as he previously has been, and Aleski not really able to like deny middle as much as I'd like, so middle and Mezzo doing a lot of work in the backline, especially in terms of picking up Ollie, who has been getting many headshots, so... Well played by them to sort of try and pressure in, and Joe is taking full advantage of that by just sort of walking forwards with the help of Vclox.
Absolutely. Now this decider round. This is everything to play for to take this first map here, and Ellis, the first one to go down by a nice headshot by Pocky. That's a brilliant opening pick for Joyatech. Nubby getting found out as well, but Joan, Crocky, and Middle all going down at the same time with Layla with the headshot by Ollie, and Sebastian with the backstab, or Mezzo with the backstab even onto that medic. And that is a back and forth medic frag, as we seem to see quite a lot in these higher level games. But it's going to go in favour of Torpedo. That was a very clunky mid-fight for both teams, and we could be expecting Joyatech repush as they just surge back onto the points. They do lose a few players, but they're persistent enough to get hold of it, and with that, they're in control now.
Yeah, Mezzo really abusing the fact that they have kind of a bit of tunnel vision going on at the moment, and he is kind of focusing the right targets. Again, gets Ollie, so yeah, like he's been fragging Ollie a lot, and Ollie must be getting kind of a bit perplexed with his team. Aleski trying to deny them coming forwards here, but I mean they already have the point. We're trying to sit behind here. Layla on 60% with a very, very small ad. Spam's kind of being exchanged. I'm kind of looking for a bit more of a stat play right now. As a lot going down actually, as Mezzo with even more frags and Joe spamming them out continuously. It's not looking very good for Torpedo.
Not very good at all. Nice bomb by Nubby. Brilliant positioning. Gets the force though, so it's better than nothing. Lilypad's mini sentry gonna deal with him. But that was a good. That was a really helpful force actually. That's gonna give Sebastian a nice little, small little Uber advantage. Might be enough to work with, but the rate that Porky's popping off, it's going to be hard for Torpedo to take any space here.
Oh no!
As wow, he takes down Seb as well. Just as I said, the Seb has a little opening for some Uber advantage. There he is, back into the respawn queue there. As he gets that body shot onto Ollie as well. Porky that's really popping off. Nice play by Nubi though. Finds Layla, and neither of these medics must be having too much fun so far. Torpedo trying to get a bit of time onto point here. They need to start taking those heals up first before they go any further. Finally starting to surge onto the point, but now they've got to deal with Poker, who's just an absolute all of meat on that point. He gets T-Bud and Sebastian, also going down to Lilypad as Middle bombs in and finishes off LSKey. Really nice coordination there by Jayatech, and they're really warmed up and they're back in the game.
Yeah, Torpedo's positioning has kind of been a bit odd past like 30 seconds. They kind of just need to like go around the mid a lot more, and also use their pyro, because T-Baldwin has been doing quite a lot in terms of denying around their mid, and I think if he gets the heals he could probably do that, but like this round and the last round they've not really done it as much, so I don't know whether they've suddenly stopped with that, but it needs to change up. And Layla definitely fearing Nubi now, as Nubi continuously abusing the fact that they kind of keep forgetting about him as soon as they get any sort of player out on the side of Failer.
Absolutely. Nice shot onto V-Clocks by Ollie, but Porky's going to return the favour and take Ollie down as well. Gets that body shot onto Xenos as well. So really nice as he goes onto the 7k.
Nubi.
They lose middle, and Nubi going to get that force onto Layla once again. But Seb now coming into 80%, and this is the chance that Torpedo really needs. It's probably the last chance they're going to have to actually reclaim the point, and with that reclaim the map. They have lost out from like a 2-1 sort of situation. They were looking like they're about to win, and no, it's not looking so good. They do manage to get the point here, but with a lot of hassle as they lose Ollie, T-Button, and Seb. Hockey just popping off, sorry, and Joan as well with the helping out with his pipe launcher there, and wow, just takes down 3, wipes them, and with that takes the round, takes the map as well. 3-2. What a close game. What a comeback as well by Jayatech. I think they're really starting to get warmed up now.
Yeah, the kiting from Torpedo like isn't as good as their aggression. See, the thing that Failer has on point is the fact that they're able to aggress at the right times, and they're also able to kite the damage and kite the Ubers at the right time. So that's where they do really well. And also, like, they manage to play around Layla a lot. So Layla actually manages to stay alive a lot, where Seb might go down. Sometimes they might have to like work on like spy checking or you know, the bombs from Nubi, but you know, other than that, most of the time that's where their advantages come from. And with many people going down in return from Failer's aggression, and V-Clocks just denying a lot of the Ubers as well when they try and come in on the side of like the scout and the demo. That's where their strength lies really, and it's probably the reason why they won those won that last round.
Yeah, very nicely played there. We'll take a quick look at the logs now. And if I can just get them up, and let's see who is really popping off here. Actually, Piggy.
Wow,
I probably wasn't expecting to see him at the top. Kind of, you know, one of the unsung heroes of that game, I suppose. 35-18 with over 400 DPM as a scout. That is really quite something. Obviously, though, Joan is going to take the top spot in terms of damage and frags, 35-25 with a 531 DPM. So you really can't argue that log. He is absolutely turning up right now, really on his game as he was last game. So he's just lately been getting so consistent, and that's really good to see. And actually, Porky, I think he had a bit of a rough start against Ollie, but in the latter game was just hitting frag after frag and must have killed Seb countless times. So that was really good to see that he was getting into his element there. I mean, not to mention though, Ollie was doing his bit as well. Equal headshots to that of Porky, and still above 400 damage per minute. So, you know, it's still really one of the stronger players on his team. Perhaps people who might need to pick up a little bit. I don't know, LSKey, compare that to Poker. It seems like he was still pumping out the damage, but maybe not onto the right players. Maybe not enough coordination going on there, but still quite decent performance. In fact, no one really stands out as lacking particularly, and I guess that's what made it such a close game.
Yeah, it was such a close game after all. I mean, you know, 3-2, and sometimes it can be those facts of like getting baited by the team, like, and the coordination coming in, like especially on classes like Heavy and Pyro and that sort of thing. So that will happen quite a lot. And obviously, you know, with newbies and middle's deaths, obviously showing the fact that they're going for those sap plays onto the mid and the force plays, which to be fair, they both did reasonably well, but Newbie probably getting the most impact, I'd say, out of that. And yeah, like I said, both snipers very equal. The thing that I noticed there was their mindset changed onto focusing Ollie a lot more. Like, you could immediately see when Mezzo was like focusing Ollie for the last like 2 rounds, and I think that kind of contributed to Porky's on the rise, and his like superior frags towards the end. So yeah, they need to kind of just protect Ollie a bit more, I'd say. Play around that, and also like trust Piggy as well, because you know, going 35 and 18 on the eventual losing team on the scout on this map, considering like he was trying to go up against like Spamfest minis and like the consistent sticky traps and spam from Joe is like, you know, still pretty impressive. So they need to like trust him and hopefully not bait Noz and that sort of thing, and they'll maybe come back into this.
All right, yeah, and it's not over to take a draw here. And actually, I'm not really too sure if the rules on Koth have changed. If you get a 3-2, does that count as a golden cap still? It does indeed. So they won't be walking away empty-handed no matter what happens. Torpedo's still going to be getting at least 1 point from this, which is really quite incredible.
That's
yeah, because, you know, Joyatech, I think, probably acceded to take the victory. Maybe SDCK, who have made a comeback this season as well, but I mean, they've all had some time off. They're probably not on point as much as Joyatech are at the moment. So Torpedo, you know, getting their claws in and getting some points already. They're guaranteed 1 point from. They must be a little bit chuffed about that, I would say. They might even be able to take that further. You know, I think that Warmtick, one of those maps that isn't played that much outside of sort of the official map times, and they might be able to seize the opportunity and take some more points from Joyatech. You never know.
Yeah, I don't think Warmtick has probably scrimmed as much. I mean, Product is like sort of a fan favourite, and there's definitely some different tactics to go on with Warmtick because of the use of like banana or elbow, as like some people like to call it. It kind of slows the pace of the game down, and like level 3s can sometimes be viable on this map as well, depending on where the teams are playing, and also the use of under as well, sort of like conceals the players, so there isn't that mechanic on Product where everyone just has to rush over the point. So can definitely expect to see different play styles coming out from the teams here. Spy, I think, can also have more impact on this map, in my opinion, just because of the fact that there's the plentiful sort of health packs on the both sides, which are probably easy to get to and a bit more out of the way. And if people chase you as well, it kind of delays them from going forwards a lot longer than it would on Products, since the sightlines are probably a bit more forgiving on Products than they are on Warmtick. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Torpedo can do here and see if they can get maybe another golden cap win or loss either way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was kind of shocked when they brought in that rule, the golden cap for Koth maps. I'm not really too sure what I think about it. I guess it does reward close games.
Yeah.
Which I guess, because I mean, Torpedo did sort of deserve something for their efforts there. They certainly put up a really good fight, and I suppose at the end I think they deserve to get something from this. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what kind of quite can see the point of this new rule. But moving on to Warmtick, at least, yeah, I'd also kind of looking forward to seeing what the soldiers have to offer here. This can be quite a powerful map for Soldier if they know how to play their cards, and Nubby especially could be making some pretty interesting bombs. That's really what he's become famous for. Yeah, I mean, Middle as well, though. He's getting some good picks. He's getting into places that he probably shouldn't be able to. So we're going to be keeping an eye on both soldiers here as well as we get ready for this next round. Bug, what do you think about this map then? You have any score predictions considering what we just saw on Product?
It's going to be very hard to tell. I mean, the games are very close. So I can't really actually predict who's going to win this, because I mean, anything can happen at sort of any point, and like the dynamic really changed very quickly on Products from the first 2 rounds to the second 2 rounds, and then into the final round as well. So yeah, but as you say, I mean, looking for the soldiers to sort of do a lot of work here on these containers on the high ground. A lot of timing is in order here. Timing is a very key part of this map, as much as it is with products, but even more so on this map because you can't really see your entire team going in. Like some people might be going from the window areas and the container areas, some might be going under, some going onto the point, and also Ubers as well, because depending on where the Ubers come from, depending on whether you want to go drop down or not, or whether you go under with it, you need to try and make sure the Ubers kind of actually get the med and get enough frags for your team. Otherwise, the enemy team's just going to kite behind the house, go back onto the med packs, and then come back in and regress. So yeah, need to be careful on the both sides of the teams, really.
Absolutely, and yeah, now should be going live fairly shortly here. So anyone just wants to recap, just for anyone that's joined us, this is Torpedo versus Joyatech. This is the second and final map now after Joyatech took it 3-2. Second week of Premiership ETF2L Highlander Season 17 as we do go live now, and yeah, not too much happening so far. Both demos similar speed getting there, some good damage coming out from I think that was middle. It's Joyatech going to be on the red side, and both teams pretty hesitant to make the first push. Now they're finally starting to put some damage out on each other. Ollie's going to find that frag onto Crayon. That's a good opening pick, actually. Might give Torpedo, sorry, a bit of space to start pushing in here. Not have to worry so much about the flank. They get Mezzo as well, and V-Clock, so they can definitely block this. Push forward a little bit, but they really need to start taking that opportunity, because otherwise those respawners are going to come back in, and Joyatech are just going to continue to push the point. Ollie now on that 3k already, finds Lilypad, but Porky with a drop onto Seb. That's going to change everything. Joyatech to start pushing that forward, however, has to force to the likes of Rambo, so I believe that was, who just got to run under and started putting some damage down on that medic. But regardless, they're probably going to be able to take this first point.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it was interesting seeing the patience there from Porky, because he wasn't really seeming to have an impact, but he does manage to pick up the frag onto Seb there with that drop. But, I mean, massive re-aggression here. Newbie with massive bombs in on this conch. Imagine it's even take out Joe in the end as well. So, you know, top scoring right now is Ollie, well, with the returning score as well. So, going to manage to eventually get this point. Kind of a weird, long mid-fight. But yeah, going to be going in the favour of Torpedo on a 60% ad for Seb as well, as to try and regroup on the side of Failer.
Well, you say that, they haven't even capped the point yet. This is a very, very long one indeed. And that NG is not going to let
there we go.
Torpedo take the point, but finally he has to give up control as he gets Reflect piped. Joan as well getting taken down by T. Burden, who just secured that point there. Very nicely done by him. Good reflex and spam denial there indeed. V-Clock, so eager to get back onto that point. They're going to start edge capping it a little bit. It's something I think Torpedo needs to take more advantage of. They lose T. Borden though. Nice backstart by Mezzo. However, they find Poker and Mezzo too, so they could definitely go about trying to defend this even without LS Key. And again, nice sort of damage out by Nubby there as he finds V-Clock's Crayon as well getting picked off. Definitely viable to defend, even easier as Porky gets picked off as well. But doesn't seem like Joyatech wants to give this up too easily here. They've still got the bulk of their combo as they just surge back onto the point, and that Uber gets popped off now, countered by Layla, and I'm thinking this is going to go in favour of Joyatech here as they just surge towards the point. They've got about a second advantage there, and Seb is going to go down in that time. Very, very nicely done by Crayon. Wild Picky getting picked off as well by Porky, and with that I think that it's going to be hard for Torpedo to cement this push.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing Seb go in there. Like, he kind of Ubered in, but then started walking in front of his scout for some reason when he was on like 40% left of his Uber as he was using it. So you should just be kind of careful of his positioning, really. They'll be sitting now on about 60%. As they try and control this point. They're letting them sort of walk onto this, but Middle with some good spam from this top area, as he does like to do that quite a lot. It's very effective at trying to just consistently get damage onto the point. But 4 down right now on the side of Layla. Even more down as Newbie with some more bombs, and Piggy's aggression coming in as well. So yeah, well played to actually come in and get that point in the end.
And part of me just thinks if they started using this raw aggression a bit more, that they'd succeed a lot more, and they might have even won looks. But they seem to have taken that aggression. They're starting to use it a little bit more now in this warm tick map, and it's kind of working in their favor. They just sort of surge forward with the aggression of Nubi. Really gives them a lot of opportunities to just push onto that point. Now that Uber's going to get popped off by Faker. Well denied by T-Burden though. They are going to basically just walk onto the point there, but they do lose Porky in the process. And now Xenor's just surging forward with the sticky jumps and huge damage output by the whole team. Brilliant focus fire. Layla and Poke are both going to get killed amongst others, and very, very good aggro push there. And it's exactly what I'm saying. They need to keep this going. They need to stay aggressive and not give Jayatech any space to work with.
I love this like teleport exit going up in Banana right now for Spamfest. It's like no one's even seen that, so whether anyone gets a pick from there, I'll be interested to see. But yeah, I mean, earlier there was kind of a questionable bomb from Joe as well. Rather than jumping out, he decides to jump in. So whether they were just trying to go for the mid pick, I don't know. But yeah, not really managed to find many frags there. As they're going to be trying to control this point now with a slight ad. Nice spam coming in from Newbie on this container area. Joe's having to focus that. Kind of putting himself very exposed on the point here. Not really much punishment though, fortunately for him. As a level 2 will actually be going up for Spamfest in this Banana area, which can be very troublesome if they don't focus it. And seeing that, 2 players up right now for Torpedo, so massive push in from Failer.
That was really well played dry push there. I mean, they did lose Lele in the process, but Seb also went down. I think that was Rambusaur on the pistol, in fact, so not too sure how that happened, but very well played by him regardless. And now those Ubers are going to be pretty equal. Seb on a small disadvantage, but they can still definitely get some aggression in. Layla's early on, I mean, it's 50% now, so they really need to start getting this dry push back in. They were really good with it, but it's going to be hard without Noz as he gets backstabbed by Mezzo. And you can just see there's a very passive approach by Jayatech at the moment, and it seems to be working for them, to be fair. They've got that level 3 set up now as well, so they can watch under, they can kind of watch the flank and just play kind of back, watch the... All they need to worry about is the point now, and that's exactly what they're doing, but it's going to be real hard with Porky and Joan both getting picked off at the same time. Ellis Key did go down, but they can still make a dry push if Torpedo's quick about it, but Layla coming in with that Uber now to just block any aggression. Ollie getting backstabbed as well, and they're not done yet. Huge bomb from middle, and followed up by V-Clocks as well. They're going to find all sorts of frags. Are they going to get Seb though? That's the real question.
God.
No, they don't.
Seb managed to get out on the skin of his teeth there on 11 health as they were all trying to shoot him desperately. V-Clocks coming in with some shotgun shots to try and finish him off on low health, but not managing to find it. So that means that for that they will be punished with an Uber very shortly, as there's 3 dead right now on the side of Failer. Spamfest having to move his gun back, but a nice return snipe from Porky onto the heavy Leski. Trying to push in here, but Joe a bit overextended as well. Could be going down on this point as they're going to try and maybe kite this under as Newbie's trying to bomb in, so I don't know, they're not really giving this up easily.
Absolutely, now with 10 seconds left, they can afford to use it. They're just going to walk straight in, probably try and deal with Poker here, but that Uber, counter Uber comes out. It came out real quick as well, so nicely done there, but overtime is in place now. Nice stab by Agi actually onto Joan. That's going to change the dynamic quite a lot if nobody can start getting some damage out, but alas, he's a little outnumbered, and he's going to have to back up. Though no one really up for Torpedo at all as the respawns come in. They're on the Vax now, in fact. Pretty questionable play there, but I guess they haven't got enough time to get a full Uber charge. They're just going to be dry pushing, trying to use those... trying to use that Vaccinator strategy to its full potential here and just muscle their way onto the point. I think it's a pretty interesting idea. It could just work for them. They do lose T-Bun and Sebastian instantly goes down and they're getting absolutely annihilated. Maybe that didn't work so well. They've really got to start just muscling onto the point here. They do find Layla. In fact, Ellis Key on the back lines getting a mad amount of damage in, and how did that even work for them, Buck?
I think this sort of semi-flank play works. Newbie, like, massive shout out to Leski and Newbie there with some sort of massive flank plays, because Leski coming in from the underneath kind of caught them out, and then Newbie bombing onto the container. They just literally saved that round for their team, so that was incredible to watch there. I mean, I was going to actually say shout out to Spamfest as well, because having that Sentry and Banana was just an absolute pain for them, but yeah, they also just got distracted, not watching all sight lines there, and sort of tunnel visioning the point, but yeah, they're managing to get that in the end.
Yeah, it's nice to see a team that makes use of that under area. I feel like it gets neglected quite a lot, and doesn't get used to its full potential, and it's nice to see that they just kind of turned the whole round around just by using that sort of understrat. So fair play to them there, but they're starting to lose a few players. T-Burden and Ollie both getting fragged off in this early mid-fight, and the round, well, the point looks like it's going to go in favour of Failure here, as Sebastian gets picked off by middle. His frags a nice tasty 2k, and I think in under again, and now they just sort of begin walking onto the point there. They're just getting the cleanup out there. There's only 3 up now for Torpedo, but they're still not planning it on the point here, and as I say, that middle walks straight on there, and with that ×4 it's looked quite good. Hadji, I don't really know what he was doing there. He
Not
was
even
completely
sure
caught out. He just uncloaked, and I think he was trying to go for a little headshot there, but everyone just saw him doing it, and he paid the ultimate price.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate by Nubia earlier on there, trying to go for that bomb. Layla on like almost 10 health, so not managing to find that med frag as Layla could be sitting on 100%. Typical sort of positioning right now is Soldier and Heavy 4 Torpedo going to be sitting in this sort of window area next to the containers. They have to slowly try and walk in here. Not much pressure on the point right now from Failure, so kind of allowing them to walk in. Maybe this is like a bait strat as they're going to use the Uber. Poker actually in position under, very aggressive, and ready to collapse on this as they try and walk in. Mezzo with this stab onto Ollie as well, so no sniper right now for them to worry about. But Nubi with a big bomb. Bombs into a level 3 built by Spamfest, so yeah, going to be playing around this level 3 for now as they're kind of starting to pressure the point slowly.
Now it's they just surge forward with that Uber there. Poker, not sure where he came from, but takes down Rambasaur and T-Burden. Very nicely done by him in coordination with that Uber push there, and they find Wild Piggy and LS Key in the process in the post fight, but Ollie's going to get the frag onto Porky. V-Clock's gone down as well. Now they want to get this aggression going. Torpedo very keen to plant their keystra on the point there, but it's going to be hard as Mezzo gets that backstab onto Seb. Nos goes down as well, and with that their push might be a little bit harder than they first thought. Yeah,
not really as synergized right now, Torpedo. Need to be going in front of the bomb as the pyro actually comes from underneath, so a bit of a, I think it was a sap coordinated play onto the sentry there, I think, as they managed to get this point in the end, as Layla going to be seen on 60%, falling back with the team for now. I think they might try and set up in Banana here. Porky going to be sitting on this top area as well, as Newbie could try and secure it for his team, but decides to wisely back out. It does have conch though, so we'll see what we can do with this.
Yeah, they can try and get a bit of aggressive hold, maybe slightly more aggressive than they are right now, and that conch is going to enable them to do so. They've got to make sure they can deal with that level 3 before it becomes level 3, because at the moment, Spamfest just keeps on kind of teleporting back to spawn, I think, to get more ammo to try and build this level 3 here. And if they can keep dealing with it, then it's going to make it really hard to secure that level 3 there. But as I say that, they just sort of push in on to the point. Nice bombs there by middle, I think that was Joan, but Poker and Porky just gonna cement themselves onto the point there, and with that take it.
Yeah, Seb was left again like very low on health, so manages to get out there. He's going to be on 100%, so just sometimes get lucky with that. Going to be trying to walk in from this banana side. Porky's actually in a position to defend against this, and actually will go down to Ollie there, as Nos is going to be walking on the point. Aleski probably calling for a drop down Uber here. Nos is going to be Ubering into a level 3 sentry. V-Clocks gets thrown in the air. Going to be trying to do his best to try and deny this. This Uber not really that effective, but I mean, I say that, but they've actually managed to get the frags elsewhere rather than in the Uber itself, so Layla going to be the only one alive. So, well, I mean, well played to Layla there, actually, to get out, so 100% on Layla going to be looking to come back in here very quickly.
Yeah, some good survivability by her. They're going to be ready to get straight in. You see Agi trying to go for that stab through the middle connector. Didn't work in his favour. Ollie does find that kill onto Porky, though, and now that Uber's been popped off really early by T-Bird. Nice force by him, and he might be able to get out with his life here. I know, finally going to get gunned down by Mezzo, but good early force. But Seb is also going to go down to middle. Nice bomb by him. Joan, Mezzo, and Crayon going to get picked off in that post fight though, so it's really just up to Poker to capture this point, and they got to deal with some threats from under. That's the NG and the Scout who's just causing a bit of grief behind, but despite that, Poker with that big buff is just going to be able to plant himself onto point, not let go, and he's going to take it, and there's only about 40 seconds left now for Joyatech here, so definitely doable for them, as Layla already with that big advantage, about 50% advantage to work with. So now it's up to see what Torpedo can pull out of their hat. I'm thinking a Nubby bomb might be what they need, but they could just decide to plant themselves onto the point here. Nubby getting a bit aggressive. They're going to start working their way in. Layla only coming up to 90%. So there's still a chance for them to get that kill onto her. Or they could just try and play the point here. But now that Uber comes out, it's getting a little too late for them now. That was nicely timed for them as they lose... they get those frags onto Rambasaur, T-Burn, Seb most importantly, and LSK. Now it's kind of up to Nubby and the demo to sort of make this work. Now it's just Agi, and they might be able to get a few players just onto the point in time here. But my guess is that this one's going to go into the hands of Jayatech. Right, there it is, 1-1. Still a very, very close game.
Yeah, Failer's coordinated aggression there was really good to see. So Joe bombing in with that Uber, and then, you know, his scout coming through, his soldier coming through. Gibby getting all the frags basically, and also Seb as well going down. I think Seb needs to kind of overestimate more the aggression coming out from Failer, because they will always bomb in, you know, as CJ and you say, about the Joe zone, and he's going to be bombing into that all the time as a coin term, so he needs to be always on the watch out for that. As Newbie trying to get some damage down very early, as Signals goes down very low as well, kind of looking to possibly push under here, but going to be locked down right now on the side of Failer as they're trying to walk on the point.
Yeah, Peter doing a really good job at seizing this point here. They get that pick onto Joan as well, really important one. Now at that ×5, they're going to be able to come out of this mid-fight victorious. Ollie following up, getting that frag onto Porky as well. I'm thinking they might be needing to play a little bit more aggressive, maybe trying to play the point a little bit more, not just banana holds, because they're giving Joan a lot of space and he can do a lot of work with that space. So my guess is they might need to just start playing a little bit more aggressive here, but it's kind of hard. They lost Nubby now, lost Wild Piggy as well. They did get that frag onto Joan as the Uber comes out though. Seb still got his. This is going to be definitely in favour of Torpedo as they get Poker and Porky once again. Ollie really popping off at this point, and yeah, they can probably hold on to this point here. Both Ubers exchanged and looking really good for Torpedo.
Yeah, we're going to be starting to spam them though quite hard from this top area. Ollie on quite low health, going to try and retreat to his mid, but will get picked up by Meza, so smart uncloak there to try and revolver him down. Even Ubers right now. Ajay coming in for a bit of aggression in this top area as well. Will get caught out by middle as the rest of his team, Poker and Crayon, going to be sitting on the point with the help of V-Clocks. Xenos going to be trying to like sort of alone for a few seconds, but the rest of his team does pull through, trying to defend this as much as they can. Poker going down very, very low, will get spammed out by Newbie eventually. Kind of doing the middle strat of just sort of sitting in the top, spamming them. And yeah, not really much going on in terms of full-out aggression, but the picks do seem to be going slowly in the favour of Failer, as Seb does actually go down.
Yeah, that was a really key pick for them to push in here, but as I say that, Ollie returns the favour with the frag onto Layla. So, real back and forth situation here, and Seb's going to respawn now. He's going to have a big advantage as well to work with. Well, I say big, 15%, but that's enough to go off for a Prem Medic. And yeah, I mean, if they can just regroup now, they can start getting back onto point. There's not going to be any heals for a few more seconds, but Layla's here now. She's just getting in. Middle's down, V-Clocks as well. Mezzo going to get fragged off, and now that conch is going to get popped off. I think that was a conch. And yeah, with that, they're going to be able to cap that point. Very nicely done indeed. The sentry's going to get picked off by a mixture of Agi's Sapper and LSK. I think it was LSK, or Nubby even. Getting some good damage onto their really important pick if they want to play a little bit aggressive and use that little under route. That sentry needs to be dead, and they're playing the exact taxes they need to. But with that, Jayatech keen to try and get some aggression back in here. They are dealing with an Uber disadvantage, and they're losing players as well pretty quickly. Ollie's real popping off. He gets 2 consecutive headshots. Now they're starting to lose a lot of players. Only 1 minute left. Seb still with that 100% Uber to work with. Layla coming up to 80 now. And yeah, they're just kind of chilling in Banana a little bit here and taking it slow, waiting for that aggression. Then they're going to counter with that Uber, and it's looking really good for Torpedo at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing with the level 3 is it does actually deny the aggression coming out from Newbie and the Scout, but like they're going to be like not really as aggressive as they probably want to be. Uber's going to get exchanged here onto the Pyro actually, so Poker taking a lot of damage from that as well, but some frags in the back line coming in favour of Failer though, as Ollie going down and T-Borden going down as well. Newbie with a big bomb, you actually get denied by that level 3. But the point is still in favour of Torpedo, as the seconds are slowly ticking down. They need to try and aggress into this as much as they can, as Noz is trying to spam them out as much as possible. Takes a nice headshot from Forky, but yeah, they need to make up a lot of time here, Failer.
Absolutely. And they are starting to lose a few players. Vehicle's actually picking up Xenos and Wild Piggy before he went down himself, so that was a good sacrifice play there. And is Poker going to drop down on them? No, he's not. But see if see if they can get any picks. I think Mezzo going in for a big one. Gets that stab. Second stab as well. Finds Seb and LSK. Really crucial pick there by him. Very, very well played. And the cleanup comes in as they find Rambosaur as well. Now he loads of players down for Torpedo. Not looking too good for them at the minute. They've still got a lot of time to work with though. Just under 2 minutes. Enough time to regroup with Layla on that 100%. They need a good bomb. They need Nubby to step up to the challenge. They lose Ollie as well. And Xenos once again. Mezzo on that killing spree now. 5k. Big player with some big plays at the minute. And yeah, they're going to try and get maybe a dry push in here to get that force, in fact. I'm not sure how that happened though. Buck, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, like, I mean, Aleski was kind of pressuring them. I think, like, Layla wanted to use to save her heavy. But, like, even in that situation, I just wouldn't have used, like, there was no other pressure actually onto her herself. So, bit of an interesting use here, because they're going to have, like, a 40 out here. Ajay manages to get Porky as well. So, I mean, if Seb manages to stay alive here and they can bring in the heals onto the point, this is going to be a bit of trouble here, as there's only 3 seconds left for them to actually, like, hold this point. Mezzo coming in with some more stabs. Does get Xenos as, Middle gonna get taken down in return, and actually a lot dead on the side, including Seb, actually, for Torpedo. So Failer manages to hold on to this.
Yeah, that was so vital. I don't know why Seb wasn't. I don't know if he had at the time. I felt like he might have done. Oh no, he didn't. Okay, well, I was gonna say I don't know why he didn't just pop off then. But that is a real shame for Torpedo. They was looking so strong with that small Uber advantage to work with. But they're going to have to just kind of make a push here. They're losing players already, though. Wild Piggy and Ollie both going to get picked off here. Xenos as well. Middle on that 3k. I think he's still just chilling on the flank. I'm not sure where he is up to at the moment, but I think he's at the top, sort of the top left, and just getting that damage out. Does go down eventually to LSK. Now that Uber's going to get popped off by Failer. With only 8 seconds left, they've really clawed this back. Very well played by them there. And V-Clox, he just kind of runs in, gets that 2k, and that level 3, absolutely a huge amount of work. And Poker is going to fall to it as well. And with that, next round in favour of, what's their name? Joyatech.
Mind blank for a second there.
Oh, that was terrible.
They're yeah, I mean they're playing this really well. They need to like not get sort of overzealous in their positioning, I think, when they've actually got advantages, Torpedo, because you know Seb going down in those situations isn't really ideal. They need to be regrouping really, taking the heals, taking the buffs. Going in middle with the instant bomb onto Ollie, so F's in shout for Ollie there, as he's going to be dead instantly on this mid. They should be looking to take some space here, although I say that Ajay with a nice cheeky uncloak onto Porky, so both snipers going to be dead for now, as Poker going to be sitting pretty on this point with his 450, with Layla helping him stand on this point. They should be really trying to contest this a bit more as the demo's dead, but yeah, they are kind of scared right now.
Yeah, that's some good momentum from Joyatech there. Early pick onto Ollie did wonders. He's back up though, and he gets that frag onto Poker. And I don't know if that's going to be enough for them to push with, but Seb did survive that that kind of onslaught there. With full Uber now, they might be able to make this exchange happen. Xeno's going to be leading that charge. In fact, Nubby taking a lot of distraction behind as well. He's back in there in Joyatech's back right area. And but it probably isn't really enough. I think that might have been a drop. Nice body shot by Porky onto Seb.
Oh dear.
He's really struggling at the moment, that poor guy. And yeah, I mean, because that was looking fairly good for Torpedo at the time. They had the momentum going. They were getting that damage out from Xenos, but they just got completely collapsed on. And Mezzo gonna get that stab onto Sebastian again. And T-Burden as well going to go down.
Happening.
And that cannot be good. I don't think Seb is a happy chappy at the moment.
Yeah, I think the thing is, right, the comms are probably a bit cluttered. They need to slow this down. Like, they need to take things one step at a time. They need to, like, be walking in, calling where people are. Like, they know where Porky is now, so, you know, avoid that sight line. Just think about where it is. But as I say that, Piggy waltzes in after the damage from the rest of his team and picks off Layla, who's standing on the point. So Seb actually could have a small ad now. Maybe if he doesn't get killed by the assassin classes. See, look, he's actually, like, listen to what I've said here. He's taking it a bit slower, not instantly coming out. Because, you know, as I say that, Joe actually going in really aggressive. So expecting that Joe aggression. So they're actually sort of trying to learn off the playstyles, and which is good to see since they're going to be adapting. Middle goes in for a big bomb though. Ollie manages to surf that out though, so we'll play by him to sort of avoid that. Middle probably going to get cleaned up slowly.
Absolutely. Now the pressure is really on for the Torpedo squads here. Xenos and Ollie both going to get picked off, but they want to keep this push going anyway. It's not looking too great for them time-wise. They get that stuff onto Porky though, so they might just be able to kind of sneak cap this. They've got to deal with Joan though, who's just spamming from the drop-down area. But eventually they're going to take this. Joan just putting out pipe after pipe from that drop-down area, and he's kind of working for them. It kind of scared them off a little bit. He was kind of tucked safe away. But regardless, they did lose the point there. And they have got that Uber advantage. I mean, maybe they should be thinking about taking it aggressively. But at the moment, they're just sort of cooked up in Banana, which hasn't always been working for them too well before. Nubby finds Crayon.
Oh my god. I don't know whether you just saw that, but basically what happened was Newbie just jumps in. I mean, I know there's a Newbie exchange right now, but Newbie jumped in, surfed the level 3 round, and then 1v2's the flank on like 7 health. Don't know how that even happens, but yeah, we'll play it by him. They're going to be trying to get this point now, but the aggression's not really going anywhere for Failer. This is 4 down, Joe dead as well. Forky in middle going to be sitting in this top area. Seb needs to be careful with his positioning, not really with his team right now, but yeah, Spamfest managed to keep this level 3 up, but it's not really doing much to deny them actually point access, so need to be sort of careful here as the time slowly clicks down.
Yeah, they're in a decent position here at the moment. They've also got a small Uber advantage to work with. They're not going to get sort of rushed at the last minute. That's something that Joyatech are always pretty keen to do. God. And what was that? Nubby just somehow bypassed the sentry as well. I don't know what was happening there. That sentry must have malfunctioned as he just nice little tasty 2-shot onto Layla, and she's down. Seb now coming in with 85%, looking very, very good for Torpedo now as they're really killing this time. Only 1.5 minutes left to try and take the comeback here. Now Seb's going to have Uber. They kind of rotated just to behind point, not playing Banana, and that Uber's going to get popped off. They've really got to find Layla with it though, and now that sentry might come into use here because they can't overextend too much for fear of that sentry completely demolishing them in post Uber. But they do find Joan, however, so that's one pick that could be useful. And Agi, sorry, is going to sacrifice himself to get that level 3, but already Spamfest is eager to get another one set up.
Yeah, Noz going down, but in return, Ollie gets Layla as he extends onto the containers for a quick shot. Joe is in this top right area, does get spammed up by Ollie as well, so yeah, we'll play to get that mid pick. Seb going to be on 50% right now. However, the sentry's moving forward now. Spamfest manages to pull it back, probably the smarter play. Going to be putting it in that position where it's been doing a lot of denial work. Going to be slowly walking in right now. On the side of Torpedo, actually deciding to go under with some whips. Do run into Poker. Poker going to do a lot of damage and call them out, so need to be careful of that rotation. But going to be slowly trying to cap this middle and Porky again in this sort of typical place they've been standing in, this top right balcony. Seb does have Uber though, so they need to sort of walk this in properly with Piggy, with Aleski, and then try and get some frags.
Yeah, it's a decent challenge for them now. Seb with that 100%, who should be taking that opportunity to push in. Even if they have to use their Uber, they've only got 10 seconds left to do it, and they've really got to get going. Finally, they do lose Agi and Rampus, or Anti-Burn in the process, so not the best Uber to pop off here. They're just losing everyone, in fact, but yeah, only 3 up now. I don't know how that Uber went so badly, but that's going to cost them big time. It's going to cost them the whole map, in fact. As the GG's been called, and the 3-1 victory by Joyatech. Very, very well played by them in the end. They had a bit of a struggle on the first map, Product, but it's not all doom and gloom though for the Torpedo Squadron there, as they kind of we'll take 1 point away from this powerhouse of Joyatech. So, I reckon I can't be too disappointed about that. Buck, you know, what have you got to say about that match?
No, I mean definitely as you say. I mean, giving them a bit of a run for the money on the product, especially like close game. But the one thing I noticed, like going into that warm tick in the later rounds, especially, is they kind of got like a bit too aggressive in their Ubers. Like I was saying before, like they need to have use with the Ubers. But what they should have done is rather than use them to the point, as much as the aggression they want to do. Sometimes it's a bit wasted, especially against the level 3, because, you know, Spamfest, very good energy, you're going to be trying to keep up that level 3 and wrangle it as well. So, you know, having that for protection and sort of wrangle people away as they jump in, it's, you know, it's very hard to get in the med with that. And also with V-Clocks, with, again, more Uber denial, like separating the med from his heal targets. You know, just sort of basic Highlander game sense, going to be trying to deny as much as they can, and that was well played by them. And you know, again, the aggression coming out from Failer all the way into the back lines, and Seb going down a few times with a couple drops as well. You know, all culminates into the victory really there for Failer. So they did really well on this map.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved by them. We'll take a quick look at the logs now, and I wasn't really expecting to see this, but Poker on the top frags. 33 to 20, over 400 DPM for a heavy, so that's a pretty nasty performance by him. Nasty in a good way, I should add. And yeah, I mean, I really wasn't expecting to see that, to be quite fair, but very well deserved. Mezzo as well, in him a little bit, and the work he was doing on the back lines, and kind of the tunnel vision, I think, that Torpedo had going on for most of that match on both maps would probably open up a lot of possibilities for Mezzo, and there's a reason he was Spy of the Season last season, and he's well on his way to achieving that award again if he continues playing like this, because he was really causing the backline some grief. He was doing, again, a lot of picks onto some integral classes, and including the medic quite a lot. It's really good to see. Porky as well, kind of equal sniper performance there. Both kind of hitting similar DPM, similar headshots, and most probably similar frags as well, both on 27. And that was, yeah, I mean, that was quite an even fight when it comes to the snipers. Porky getting probably some better timed frags. I think he killed the med like 4 times or something like that, and I think Ollie maybe only killed the med like twice or something. But yeah, Porky getting a lot of important frags at like the right times. Makes him a very, very strong player for this map. And yeah, I mean, most of this really has to be credited towards the pick classes there. Just doing a phenomenal job on both sides. I think Agi as well. He not as high up on the leaderboards as his rival Mezzo, but doing his bit. He was getting some good picks. I think he got the med a couple of times as well at some really important stages. So I mean, overall, just really, really well played by both teams. Once again, I don't really think it was a decisive victory. It was still fairly close, even if it was 3-1. Those rounds were all kind of pretty nail-bitingly close. It was mostly just like the result of 1 or 2 mistakes, and it always makes it very intense to watch, and must be very disappointing when you lose from such like a minor mistake there. But I mean, yeah, fairly well played. Bucks, do you have anything else to add to these logs?
Not specifically for the logs, but I will say going forward, I think Torpedo will obviously take this as a learning experience. You know, they have proven themselves to be very strong, you know, with that, even with the Golden Cap loss on product, Failer, you know, obviously they must have been stressed at some points there. So, you know, to make the 2nd seed Prem team last time from season 16, to like be stressed in those situations and actually end up losing rounds, you know, that's obviously an achievement in itself. So, and especially with Mercs as well. Let's not forget the fact that they had Xenos on Merc demo and Warpiggy on Merc Scout. So, not playing with their 2 of their mains right there will contribute to that. But I mean, nevertheless, still doing a good performance from both sides. But yeah, I think in the end, the synergy from Failer is just going to be superior, and managing to play around the mid a lot more, and taking it forward with the aggression at the right times, and also playing passive and kiting at the right times. Ultimately, what won them that game.
Absolutely. Well, very well deserved to Jayatech or Failer Sports, however you call them, as they set their way for another successful season. They should be clearing themselves near the top, if not at the top of the Premiership leaderboards. However, well also played to the slightly losing team, Torpedo, who will take the Golden Cap loss on Prodark, giving them a nice point against one of the stronger teams. So they really can't beat themselves up too much about it, but I think that is going to for this match. Buck, before we wrap these things up, you got any shout-outs you'd like to make?
Not specifically, I guess shout out to Noz and Vicky for working for Torpedo, and yeah, I look forward to seeing more Torpedo in this upcoming season.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for staying tuned for this exciting match. Just a couple of shout outs to the Critscast Patreon. We're doing a lot of work to bring you casts several times a week as ETF 12 rages on. We're doing UGC, we're doing Proland, and we're going to be doing Copenhagen Games. So stay tuned for that as well. Links for the Patreon if you want to show your support will be in the Twitch chat and down below. Otherwise, it has been great. It's been a great game. My name has been Chando. I've been joined by Buck. Big thank you to We're Hoofed On Productions, and we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.